of international development. One Just World is about providing a platform for ideas and discussion about important development and human rights issues and how these might be addressed, to enable you to question people directly involved in development and make your suggestions and find out about ways in which you can contribute and get involved. A bit of housekeeping before we begin, and to ensure that the discussion remains the main focus, I'd like you all to put your mobile phones on silent, if you could do that. Now, you're welcome to leave them on because, as well as asking questions later, we would encourage you to get involved in the conversation via Twitter if you're interested, and the hashtag for this is OJW as displayed on the screen. So I'm sure you're ready to madly tweet. Now, tonight we are really fortunate to have very distinguished guests to share their insights and experience with us and discuss the benefits and challenges of sustainable economic development. And we're pleased to be joined tonight by Harriet Lamb, all the way from the United Kingdom. Harriet has been Executive Director of the Fair Trade Foundation UK since 2001, having previously worked for Fair Trade Labelling Organisations International in Germany, where she was Acting Director and Banana Coordinator, and Harriet will have more to tell us about that later on. Before this, she was the head of campaigns at the World Development Movement and worked with other non-government organisations, always with an interest in international development issues. No stranger to the topic, Harriet has written a book called Fighting the Banana Wars and Other Fair Trade Battles, and has received a number of impressive awards, including a CBE in the New Year's Honours, perhaps New York as well, New Year's Honours List 2006, and Credit Suisse Outstanding Woman in Business. And she won Eco Queen at the Ultimate Woman of the Year Awards by Cosmopolitan magazine. Please give a warm welcome to Harriet Lamb. Now, our next guest is Rob Coombs. Rob is President and CEO of the Asia Pacific Division of Interface. It's a leading manufacturer of commercial carpets and furniture fabrics. And prior to being appointed to this role, Rob has worked in product marketing management within the grocery sector, in sales and marketing roles in footwear and apparel manufacturing. Rob is also on the board of the Green Building Council of Australia and contributing a manufacturer's perspective on creating built environments in harmony with nature. Interface Inc., led by its founder and chairman, Ray Anderson, is a leading proponent of sustainable business development via its Mission Zero promise, a commitment to eliminate any negative impact the company may have on the environment by the year 2020. Please join me in welcoming Rob Coombs. Anne-Marie O'Keefe is a research fellow at the Lowy Institute for International Policy. Her original training as a journalist served her well during her time with the Red Cross in Thailand and Geneva. Having spent 3 decades working around the world in international relations and development, Anne-Marie held the position of Deputy Director General at AusAid, headed AusAid's operation in PNG in her role as Minister Counsellor, and was Australia's first ambassador dedicated to working on HIV and AIDS. She was made a member in the Order of Australia in 2007 in recognition of her services to international relations, and her current interests include work in North America on Indigenous peoples' issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Anne-Marie O'Keefe. And our next guest is Andrew Stevens. Andrew is the Managing Director of IBM Australia and New Zealand, a business with annual revenues of more than $4 billion. Andrew joined IBM in 2002 as part of IBM's acquisition of PricewaterhouseCoopers consulting business. And prior to that, he was CEO of the Pricewaterhouse Management Consulting business in Asia Pacific before their merger with Coopers and Lybrand. He has held a number of prominent roles within IBM that have led the integration efforts, strategic direction, and operational management of significant parts of the company. Andrew is a member of the Business Council of Australia, a director of the National Board of the Australian Information Industry Association, and serves on the board of the Australian Chamber Orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew Stevens. Now, the empty chair, we are hoping to have it filled, and this belongs to Tim Costello, of course, the Chief Executive of World Vision Australia. Tim's plane from Melbourne was rerouted to Sydney. Now, we expect him to arrive, and we'll give him a warm welcome when he arrives, so we're expecting to see him at some stage the evening. So let me set out how this evening is going to go. We've got some great minds here and great experience here. So I'm going to ask each of the panellists to tell me briefly in about 5 minutes what their basic position is or what they feel about the key issue on the topic. And then we'll have about 30 minutes of discussion, followed by your questions. So we want this to be free-flowing, and I know there'll be many questions tonight, so we'll give you time for that.